your little weed and your little croissant. No, I'm a flower. I'm not a little weed and your croissant. I'm getting it. So obviously, I'm a gematria. So what's gematria? Well, it's my name, Gemma. And then we'll ask what is my digits, my numerology. It's 369, right? So my gematria, right? Because gematria. My name is Gemma. Gematria, right? Hopefully you're following me with this. And yeah, I've been ill. Yeah, I've been really poorly. It's like a mild pneumonia I had. So I'm over it. Thank God. So, in this one, I'm going to break down a Freemasonry, right? So you all think what you think, and you all do what you do in spiritual communities and everything, right? So you're all sitting there talking your talk, got your ram on, yeah, got your areas head on, running your mouth, right? So let's just sit down, take a seat, listen, right? Because I'm gematria, right? 3, 6, 9, gematria, right? So you got to think, when you come in, right, the Freemasonry, what are you coming for, right? What are you doing, right? So it's America's, the lot of ya. What are you doing, right? So let's just sit down for a second. Let's just understand the difference between being a Freemason and a Satanist, right? Just me. Because you lot ain't booked enough to understand it. So I don't know why you're getting subs. That's what I said. So you're creating armies, right, against what it actually, truly, in the belly of its crook, what it represents. Right? You're dislodging it. You are displaying an aspect of discourtesy. You are destroying the fabric of it. Never mind the Satanists that are running it, okay, that are pretending to be the Freemasons. Right, so let's understand this. What is a Freemason? A Freemason is understanding an aspect of an Ark of the Covenant. 369, something you might know nothing about, right? And I'm saying this because I'm actually getting really annoyed. I'm going to post this. It's coming out. Because let me tell you now, right? If you understand what this means, you will understand an aspect of Satanism is being taken over. And it's taking over the Freemasons, right? So I don't know if everyone can comprehend this, or digest this, or understand this, or fathom this. But let me tell you now, this needs to be reckoned with. So, I don't know if you watch my stuff. If you watch my stuff, you will understand what being a Freemason is about. Freemason is about reaching the heart of the world and basking in that. It's about understanding the fundamental aspects of humanity by doing this, okay? And if you don't, you will not understand the representation of what a Freemason actually means. And it goes with the territory, right? So you Satanists want to bring it down, do weird shit and do some ritualistic stuff, but that's a Satanist's perspective, right? A Freemason stands with freeing an aspect of the Masons. Why? Not going to Satanism in the Kabbalah, I haven't got it, it's gone. One standing that crossbow, right? I'm not having it, right? I'm a Holy Grail as well. I'm not having it, right? You can go back down, right, and remember in aspects of love. You don't rise to a Satanism or an aspect of judgment and sit in it and harvest flowers. You don't harvest flowers, you let them rise. Why? Because it represents a nation. To harvest a flower, it's got to be one of the most Satanist perspectives. And if this is running across a whole board and you represent it under a Freemason, then you are not a Freemason. You are a Satanist, right? You've gone beyond aspects of justice because you didn't justify the children. So you've gone beyond Satanism. So you must understand the inverted states, which Universal Mastery has done and fucking showed everybody, right? So, and under aspects of possession as well, right? Free the people who have been possessed by people who claim to be a Freemason when they are not, because they're not Freemasons. Listen to me. So stop slagging off Freemasons, right? Because they're not Freemasons. A Freemason is a peaceful occult. Do you understand me? Freemason is a peaceful occult. If anybody is setting fire to an Ishtar, if anybody is taking owls out, if anybody is taking children under a reign of a Freemason, okay? You're not a Freemason. You're not a Freemason. Step aside, right? So I am 369, okay? Gematria. Do you not understand who I am? What I represent on this soil. And it was unknown to me until 2020 until I had some downloads. So, rethink your strategies when you slay Freemasons. Do not dare put that name in your mouth when you do not represent the true meaning of what it's supposed to represent. So, you have people in big corporations who might push an aspect of Freemasonry. You must understand that these people are not Freemasons, okay? They might be Satanists, they might run on them streams and fall into inverted states. To what? Be a progressive Satanist, okay? So, I'm not slaying the lords when I say this. It's a different understanding, but it's more easily to fall into them spaces if you are a lord, okay? For money, fame, and power. And this is where you're locked off, okay? This is where a Holy Grail says no, right? This is where a 369 Gematria says no, okay? Because what does a true 369 Gematria, okay, represent? She's about pulling all the religions together, understanding a religious connotation, and then making this make sense for the masses so we can have a unity, right? Because everything's been broken from past lives. Everything has been destroyed. Things have been taken control of through a corporate system under a governance and a religious structure. So when we understand what is taking place, we must see that it bleeds through all our aspects in humanity, and it's about stopping it. And it always boils down to a financial gain. What can we get for this? How can we live in a beautiful place and keep it going? How can I stay here and make this work for me? I will do anything. That's a low blow. That is a Satanist move straight away. Why? Okay? Because everyone wants money to survive, and this is the reality of this plane, when the reality should be in the heart of the world, because highest point is the heart of the world. So even in an aspect of the heart of the world, they would try and dislodge a truth, which is what they've been doing through me. I'm the Gematria. I'm the 369. I am the Holy Grail. I am Royal Archangel Gabriella. I am everything. All of it. I'm the square root. I understand it. And you slag it off because you had a spiritual experience that said blah fucking blah. Move. Right? Don't slave me. My crown, my heritage, my people, and my children. Unfortunately, I see through a Jewish doctrine a fallout, through an exile understanding. And this is just one, okay? I've spoken about this Jewish doctrine before, but I'm going to go in. And I'm not going in because I'm going against it. I'm going in because you should never expect to take that tour into your auric field, which I never did. It was only after, when I read the doctrine, what they was going to do. So we have to understand that when we bring a unity throughout, we understand that we agree this should not happen. So why does it still take place? To rise, only to fall. Okay? Your justice doesn't, it precedes you. When you fall into aspects of Satanism, your justice will precede you. Okay? And there's a reason why. And it's because it's about claiming an aspect of justice for ourselves within our own communities, within our own cities, within our own faith. Right? And it's a unity. And it keeps us going. Like Queen Elizabeth II said, keeps us going. Okay? She understood that the religions were the one that created the most faith. She was the one that said that it was the heart that meant everything. Okay, I didn't know that until I watched it a couple of days ago, for example, right? Okay, so let's get on to that. The monarch isn't against the people. She lost her justice. Did you not listen? 1957, the first Christmas televised video. She lost her power, her reign. Why throw tomatoes at this woman? Why do this to this beautiful woman when all she ever wanted to do was give you her heart? How disgusting are you? Okay? So this is when we bleed into understand aspects of Satanism, because my heart was smashed too. They did it to me as well. And everybody who was connected to that heart was probably dashed as well, which is absolutely disgraceful and disgusting. Your mannerisms far exceed what is expected on this plane. What is expected on this plane is you are supposed to be kind, you're supposed to be compassionate, you're supposed to care about people and love. And this is the truth of Freemason heritage. By God, I do not know what you are learning in them lodges. But let me tell you where, and now we're breaking them trees. Because this is unacceptable behaviour. We don't allow people like that in this world to do these things. Do you understand? We are not accepting this in our state, in our kingdom. Freemasonry does not represent hurting people. That is not what being a Freemason was meant to be about. That's a Satanist job. And they inverted it in the West with Ishtar and doing rituals on Ishtar. So you must understand, the low you go and you receive what? Money for feels. You gain what? To hurt what? You are destroying the ark, the royal ark of the covenant, which represents a whole world, a religion, a basis of understanding how to protect and how to survive. This is a Chiron Pisces energy, right? All these children, okay, are not your sacrifice, okay? This is why I am here, because you all know that what you're doing and financially benefiting off these crimes that you are committing underhandedly are corrupt. And you're going to go down for it, right? So I can understand how the spiritual community might wave and gather against the Freemasons because of what's happening. However, it is not a Freemason, it is a Satanism. It is against protection of minors. It is against the reality of what is meant to be going on. It is gone. It's an offshoot. It's not even sitting at a Lord place. A Lord will always find an aspect of justice. However, unfortunately, on these reigns, because we don't know who's running the UK, the Queen, the King, they are not running the UK. Okay, I already said this. They sit in a serious aspect, which is a mercy energy. They go out, they're charitable. These are organisations. They learn wisdom as we grow, okay? We can't see the rest of that, okay? The rest is an aspect of understanding and wisdom. You might never be able to see their trials and tribulations, but you might understand it if you let them speak. Hopefully you're following me with this. Let's talk about aspects of understanding rapture, right? So when we understand rapture energy, we're going to bring in an aspect of understanding Catholicism, even evangelicism, right? We're going to bring this in. There's a reason why they fell out, Catholicism and Protestants, and there was an argument for ages, and it was because there was an offshoot of two family lines, Catholicism and Protestants. And there was a creation of that line that was made, and it was a long time ago, right? And they fought, and it was a family line. That's how it originally started. The Catholics didn't know what was happening to the Protestants, and the Protestants was taken out, okay? Everyone who was taken out fell into the Protestants. Why? Because there's an aspect of saving energy, which is an aspect of an angel energy, which is a Royal Archangel Gabriella, and it's a Michael, a Michael. It is every angel, okay? I am not joking when I say this. The Irish always knew, because it fell down to an aspect of bloodline. It was always the bloodlines fighting against each other, okay? This is how an aspect of energy of it came about in the first place. It was an aspect of royalty rising and understanding, like an Anu, like Ishtar and Anu and Enki, right? So it's almost like I can see that through the programs as well I've been pushed into. Because spirituality is not just about, which is interesting, spirituality is not just about, it's not just about, it's about understanding the bloodlines and what they can bring to the table. So O's, they can bring something to the table. A's can bring something to the table, and B's can. Usually the B's end up running off the streams of the O's and the A's, which is sad. It's actually quite sad. And sometimes this is why the B's shouldn't really be cohabitating with the others. And this is actually a deeper reason on a human body, understanding why there might be a separation that should always be pronounced and take place. But at the same time, no, you have to bring them in. Why? Because what is happening to our world, so we bring it together. We all bring an aspect of understanding together. And migration. This is why. Okay? London is full of Muslims, Sikhs. Okay? I've met so many kind, generous, lovely people, lovely men as well. I've met so many. Listen, this is not a war on the ground. This is not a war on the ground. Okay? Royal Archangel Gervurah says this is not a war on the ground, because why would there be a war in the heavens if there's not a war on the ground? It's not about that. It never was. It was about understanding aspects of rapture. Right? What are we rising? Are we rising ourselves? We're in aspects of what has been trapped underneath the crevices Who has trapdoors? Okay, so this is about understanding a spiritual connotation to our religious connection. This what brings a unity to all of us, and I love you all. It's about rising the children that are lost. It is about rising all the children who have been lost over lifetimes, have been kept down, to be told they are bad and evil and not good. It's about rising those souls that have been strapped down and rising them back to heaven. You have no idea. This is a gematria. This is the 369. This is the Freemason. Rising them to what? The heart of the world is so beautiful. Look at the northern lights. So when you have like O's, they might have an understanding that's connected to somebody else's O. It's not necessarily a truth. It might just be a connection to something. And then I can understand this because I can see an A as an A, I can see a B. So I can carry all babies. How am I what? You're gonna call me a half-blood? Because I can what? Carry all babies. That sounds like jealousy to me. Right? Let's move on. So I can understand a B, a reflection. So I can understand them. And I can understand the O's because they're the creators and they don't even have the right to do the